Welcome to this episode of the Founders Fireside Podcast. This is episode 13 with Ethan Miller, founder of both Ernie's Clothing and Martha.AI.
Serial entrepreneur.
Yes, sir. All right, which do you want to dive into first?
Let's do, since I'm wearing the stuff, we'll get into Ernie's. I'll speak for Charlie as best I can, and then we can move into Martha and next steps from there. So those are like the bigger questions, I feel like.
Yeah. All right, so we'll start with Ernie's.
Mm-hmm.
Because Charlie isn't here, tell me a little bit about your co-founder, Charlie.
Charlie is a person that I am very lucky to have because it's not often you can find a person that you can invest into that has the same similar qualities and drive. So Charlie is a person that I met through mutual friends abroad, and he initially told me, I remember after we went out one night, he told me how he had aspirations for creating this clothing brand, and I was doing some dashboarding and helping small businesses out with social media management and also finance, sales, whatever they needed. It was such a half-baked idea. Besides the point, we reconnected, I want to say almost a year ago, and we were telling each other what we were working on, and we both bought into each other so much. And I think what we were initially in love with was the fact that we're two people going down a similar path. Not a lot of people were friends at the time were taking the same amount of risks, calculated risks that we were taking. And so from there, we found ways to help each other out. So that's about, how we met. Charlie is a recent graduate from U of I. He's a dear friend of mine, and he's a creative mind, is a badass at drawing. He's an insane mind when creating content and also creating clothing. And he's the CEO of Ernie's, and then he's also kind of this Swiss Army knife, for Martha, where he's able to take on so many different roles, whether it's sales or the product. He's our we joke, Jack Wax and I, he's our fractional CTO, right? So that is my current partner, Charlie.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I like the word Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, I mean, he's a size that fits all.
Yeah. Okay. So before we dive into the weeds of Ernie's, you want to tell me broad strokes what it is?
Yeah, it's named after his grandfather, Ernie, and it's streetwear for doers. So we're creating clothing and targeting people that actually get out there and do cool shit. It's a very broad thing to say, but what we kind of mean in action is we're targeting people that do stuff like action sports, not really ball sports. If you skate, you surf, snowboard, ski, if you get out there in nature and you do your thing and you post about your lifestyle, that is what we want to showcase, and we want to build a clothing brand around that in a sense. I was going to say something else too about Ernie's as well that I'm not figuring out, but that's the main gist of it right now. And we don't really get to see, this is what I was going to say, it's content and getting sucked in on your phone and posting, right? It sucks you away from actually getting out there and accomplishing what you want. And it's ironic because this is kind of our getaway from doing Martha sometimes, where we're all pointing fingers at each other trying to figure out what the correct answer is. This is for the most part Charlie's passion project. I'm kind of just here to support him and help him with that. But streetwear for doers, targeting people that are in action and giving them a better platform to do it.
Sweet. I like that, streetwear for doers.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about the marketing for Ernie's?
Yeah, so we just find people who are on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and we kind of save their content, and Charlie's been doing a great job of reaching out to them, and I've been kind of the one to connect these cool people with cool content creators, which is super underrated. So for example, we have, this is kind of leaked news. Charlie will kill me. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but Like one of my good friends does professional photography, and he has a great amount of following, and we're going to pair him up with like a surfer as well. And then for kind of the next drop we're going to do, we want to get into like, I don't want to expose the whole plan, but we want to get into kind of like winter athletes given like the season coming up, and we're trying to find, people that create cool shit doing that as well. That's the marketing game plan. And at both stages of this, like Martha and also Ernie's, something valuable that I learned is you don't need like a set marketing plan, especially when you're balling on a budget, right? We don't have the money to pour things into ads, although we'd like to use like Martha for Ernie's, which is ideally the dream. But frankly, that's nothing. We can't do that right now. So we're trying to be scrappy and be organic, stay organic for as long as we can. And then when we really want to take it to the next level, that's where we really see like a marketing plan come into play, right? But for now, it's something that we're not viewing as, like a rush. Like we need a marketing plan, we need a marketing manager. What's our content calendar, right? Like it's very go with the flow, let it all kind of play out. We're checking in, doing these things because it comes naturally to us, and we seriously enjoy doing it. But it's not that cut and dry right now.
Yeah. Okay. So by looking at your content from Ernie's, the people that you partner with, the cool people that you find that are doing stuff, you call them doers.
Doers, yeah.
And what do you call it, like a doer spotlight or
a doer feature?
Doer feature.
Yeah, but spotlight's equally as descriptive in this case. So
tell me about a couple of the doers that you've partnered with.
So we partnered with a band called New Bounce Collective. They create super cool content, and they literally will set up on a street and do like freestyle music, like create stuff on the spot, right? And they don't give a shit about who's coming by or like who's going to shut down like their party, and it's super, super cool. And then we also did a short little doc, our first like ever like kind of video doer feature, which went pretty well. We still learn, like there is a lot to learn from that process, but my friend Milan is a surfer out in Bolinas, California, West Marin, north of San Francisco, and we did a whole entire feature on him, which was super, super cool. And you kind of like, you're kind of getting the picture that like, these people are going against like their cultural norm, if you will, right? I don't know if that's the right way of describing them, but they're people that aren't really listening to the outside norms of what people think. That's exactly who we're targeting, and we want to just keep pushing that narrative as we drop more clothing too.
That's awesome. People that do the best, I feel like they normally don't go with the rules of society, kind of push the boundaries.
Yeah. I'm super, like, that's the reason why I was able to buy into it so much, because I see a ton of really cool stuff on Instagram, but I don't necessarily see things that are unique and actually built around the people, right? Like I see super cool stuff that is built around like a genre, or it's kind of built around like, a trend. I never see things that are actually built around people. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know if you feel the same, but we're not replicating a thing that's been done like very often. You see like sponsors for, like bigger brands, right? Like, they're getting celebrities to do stuff for them, but like what is often left out that I see is just like the people out there that like fly under the radar and go against the grain.
Yeah. And maybe they have a good following, but so many brands just feel so corporate.
It's just copy and paste, like I sometimes,
Yeah. So with the partnerships with doers, have you noticed your organic sales being?
Yeah. We did our first drop, and I actually have a cool little story. That's not that cool, more so a learning moment, but I mean, everyone's like first product, no matter what, it's always a learning moment, right? So we sold out of our hats, which was like a great achievement, but we toyed around with like doing a t-shirt, and we didn't really do our due diligence of like, verifying the graphic was kind of like okay to put on a shirt, right? So like we had to scrap the whole entire idea. And so it was this whole kind of mess. And then even worse, this was the worst part, like the manufacturer that I set up the company with was like baloney. And that was like the biggest hit to it all for us, because we were putting so much effort into this cool content to where we were kind of getting schooled on. It was just a t-shirt, really. And I kind of feel bad. I take accountability for that, but you live and you learn.
Yeah.
So we want to turn around and sell out pretty much every single time. As you know, like when you're starting a clothing business, like you could only do so much in terms of quantity. However, we really want to focus on making sure like the quality is also like 110%. And so what if you don't sell out like 1,000 units? Like, it's right now, the only thing in my opinion that like we should be caring about is like building the actual brand. Like, so what if we're dropping like 2 units of like each like new hat for the new collection, or like 2 shirts for the new collection, as long as we're getting out there and showing people like our value proposition, right? That's, to me, all that needs to be conveyed. It's at this point in time, it's not really even about actually a large part about the clothing, but it's about the message for me more so. I think for Charlie, it's like putting out cool shit too, which I care about. But I think like building a sick brand is also like equally, if not, right?
Totally.
I don't know. Maybe I'm talking on my ass.
No. That's so facts. You're not building a product. So do you know who Ben Francis is?
Yeah. Can I look it up?
Yeah.
Actually, I got my Opal on, but.
Founder of Gymshark.
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah. I saw like this post that he did on Instagram.
Yeah.
And he was like, you're not building a product, you're building a brand. And that's about like building a community.
Yeah.
And building something unique and putting it out there.
Yep.
It's not just clothes at
exactly
all.
The point.
It's like all the energy around it that's important.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like you guys are taking up on that really well.
Thanks.
Ernie's.
Thank you. Yeah. And I know that you're also making a very like strong effort to do it as well now, like with the content that you're putting out.
Yeah.
And how has the process been for you?
So something that I've been doing way better now than with Shinari is getting affiliates.
Yeah.
And
I didn't know you were doing that.
Yeah. Ambassadors. I think the main difference is getting them to sign contracts before, so it like guarantees the post. But 2 other changes that I made are giving them a bigger cut of sales, like with their code or link. And then also doing reach outs via DM.
Yeah.
And not email.
Well, I could definitely take notes on that, because something that I've been so ass about is like not sitting down and just getting the DMs out there. Cause I don't know what it is. Like, I hate like doing the copy, and like, is it really like a sit down, like get gritty and just crank them out one by one with these creators? Yeah. Do you know like, when do they drop you? Like when do they cut you off? Like, is there like a certain amount you can do per day when you DM them?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I've gotten to 150 before.
150?
Yeah, and then they just stopped sending.
And do you know what your response rate was from 150?
Yeah, 4.5%.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
But here's what I'm like thinking about while I do this. I'm doing like A/B testing. First of all, boxers and MMA fighters have had the greatest response rate by far. But there's going from point A to point B and point B to point C. Point A to point B is sending the DM to getting them to sign the contract. Yeah. So with all the messages in there, I'm figuring out, okay, what works that gets them to be like excited about it and want to sign the contract and become an ambassador. And then B to C is them signing the contract to posting as point C. So like getting them to do a good post that converts and shows that they're actually genuinely excited to work with us and be partnered with us. So I'm like doing A/B tests with that all day.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's like kind of where my head's at. But besides that, it's just the content that we put out on our own page, so that when they have fans that watch their videos and then come to our page before they purchase, like, you know, it's got to be content that resonates with people.
Right. 100%.
Especially as a new brand.
Yeah.
Because most people will just go to Nike.com.
Well, when you post ads, 90% of it, as they say, relies on the creative. Like, it'll sell itself if you have good content. So,
as long as your website is decent.
Exactly. That too. Like for Martha, like the software as a service, like we've learned along the way, we can't be convincing these companies that have a bad landing page and no content to start like running advertising. If you don't know, like in 2025, that you got to start like building a social media presence, then like you're kind of already behind. If that makes sense, you know? Yeah. So like one thing that we require, not only like on top of the content, but we highly recommend, and we're starting to partner with agencies on this, is you gotta like either pay for a cool landing page, you gotta like get gritty and be lovable and kind of do it yourself, because it's not gonna pan out if you continue to like try and run ads and then you just don't have like any presence whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, where are your customers going to go?
Totally. So with that being said, do you want to start?
Yeah, we can shift the conversation. Yeah.
Let's do it. Okay. So real quick, broad strokes on Martha.
Yeah. It's an AI agency, as we're calling it. So we're an agency, but for a fraction of the price, and we'll run your social media ad campaigns right now, just strictly on Meta. And honestly, we could help out with the creatives too, as of right now. But the problem is that clothing brands like Ernie's and other e-com brands, like that's why I collab with Jack on the Handless Handle. Like it gets to a point where they need to scale with using Meta advertising, but it's just like ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
And the learning curve's too fat. And then you learn how to do it, and you've already spent so much time and money doing it, right? So we want this AI agent, Martha, and we're trying to personify it to make our client kind of feel comfortable. We essentially want Martha to run the ads for our client that can't afford going to an agency, that, you know, doesn't want to get around that huge learning curve. So.
All right. Okay. It's an awesome idea, an AI agency.
Thank you.
So I know you have a couple people on the team, Jack Wax and
Charlie. Yeah.
Your what's it called, fractional CTO.
Oh yes, yeah. Charlie. So we actually recently parted ways with our CTO, which was a little bit of a dagger to the heart, if I'm being quite honest. But we've been functioning as a company, like being able to, in terms of being able to like get revenue, like without the product, right? So like we're non-technical, we have no idea how to code, but you have to think like, how is this business still going to function without the whole like AI agency, right? So like you pay the same fee, which is like a fraction of the cost, but like we're still manually kind of running the ads. We kind of need this new CTO within the team to automate what we're doing, so we can take a step back and onboard no more clients and scale, because we can only take on so many clients at a time. Yeah.
Especially when it's not being automated yet.
Exactly. It's like, it's a waste of time. Everyone's kind of like frustrated right now, but it's kind of these moments where you need to double down on like the efforts, because you can feel the momentum. It's just, it needs double like the pushback, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
But still, even for the clients that you are running ad campaigns for, even if it's not automated yet, you're getting so much data on it.
Exactly. Well, that's what's invaluable. Even if they're paying or non-paying, that's one of the things that we offer is we'll run your first campaign for totally free. Once you see those results, like which you will, then we can move you up to like scaling, increase your budget, right? And then from there, it's like barbecue chicken.
Boom.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. So it's not the automated ad agency isn't fully built yet.
Yeah.
But once it is, how could you describe it being?
Well, first thing is I like to think about it as like, so if you're the person listening to this podcast, like put yourself in the shoes of an e-commerce brand. You sell like shorts, for example, right? And you're at the point where you need to scale your Cody, get in there. You're at the point where you want to scale your brand and you've been posting organically for a long time. You've been getting decent sales. You want to plow that back and to increase your minimum order quantity. And so with this quantity, you want to also increase like your marketing and brand awareness overall, right? So what are your two current options? Well, you have to outsource to an agency, or you either kind of like do it in-house kind of yourself. But what if there was this newer solution, an AI in-house manager that could come on board, take all of your data from a Meta API, so that's how we pull the data, and you also input it yourself. So you're the CEO of the shorts company. The first thing you're going to do when you drop in on our site is you're going to input your goals of your overall marketing campaign. You could input a little bit about like the context of what the shorts do, what's your value proposition, who do you target, what's your budget initially. So on top of the data that we pull from Meta, we're also getting a ton of data that you input yourself, right? And so we have the technical people listening are going to cringe when I say like we use a RAG to like go out and we have a bunch of use cases, and we're able to actually compare the winning campaigns and see what actually works, right? And so when we set you up with a campaign, right? So once we have all of your data, the thing you're going to want to do is after the learning stage, after the learning layer, is you're going to want to create a campaign. So one of the other winning parts of the product is how easy it is to create a marketing campaign with us. So if you've run anything with Meta before, I mean, you know how disgusting the interface is. Like the user experience is like,
it's horrible.
It's the worst thing of all time. We want to simplify this into 5 steps. So it's like your overall goal, the campaign, and along the way, as you're completing these 5 steps, Martha, this personalized social media ads manager, will recommend you like what this campaign will look like. So you're not even putting in the work. You're just kind of clicking 5 buttons, right? You can launch it. It goes straight to Meta. Campaigns out there along with your creatives, which is great. Something that we're working on too is we want to collaborate with another company right now to actually kind of rate your creatives to like see how winning they are, which is super cool. And so like, I hope I'm not rambling, but like as you put your campaign out there and you're kind of letting it run, you're able to go in and actually make changes to the ad campaign like through our site. So you can optimize your budget, like once it's hit like a certain CPC or CPM, you can automatically kind of adjust that or set a new goal to like decrease like your CPM, whatever you want to do. And then you can also interact with Martha like at any point and ask any questions on like performance, right? There's like an interactive chat bot as well. And many other things. So it's hard to visualize without a demo at hand, but that is the overall user experience, and that's how you could scale a shorts company, right? That advertising.
Okay. All right.
Or Martha.
We'll show like videos of the dashboard.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I could send you the demo and you line it up. And
yeah. Or I'll just find it on the LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And then
super.
I'll upload it.
I didn't know you did that. I didn't know you did visuals and editing.
It was a new idea I had today.
Just now?
Oh, I thought of it at the mill.
That's funny.
But yeah. Have you heard of the Meta ad library?
Yeah, we use it very often.
Okay.
Have you been using NA for
No.
the automated agents?
Heard of it.
I actually so it's like a no-code AI agent tool that can help you automate your workflows. And I tried to do like this HTTP request where I took the link of like the Meta Ads library so I could like pull like our clients' like creatives. But anyway, I was kind of veering off track. It's a great tool to kind of find who is like posting current creatives in the ads library, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. Are you gonna talk about the ads library?
No. I was just asking if you heard of it because it would be super valuable for marketing.
Yeah, the only thing about the Meta Ads library is like it's useful when you know someone is running ads or like checking if like someone is running ads.
Mm-hmm.
We just need to explore ways to kind of integrate the Meta Ads library within our platform. But it's great for like checking if a lead's like, okay, they're not currently running ads, like we should like reach out to them and encourage them to. Or it's like, oh, they're currently running ads, like let's help them save money and do it at the fraction of the cost of what an agency is charging them. Yeah.
You could even A/B test it and see like who's a better client or who's more likely to be a client.
Mm-hmm.
Based on if they're running ads or if they're not running ads already.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have this tradition on the podcast.
Yeah.
Where one more question actually.
Yeah.
So obviously Martha is an AI ad agency.
Mm-hmm.
How will you be doing the marketing for Martha?
Well,
will it be running ads?
Funny you ask.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not going to cannibalize anything, but I think it's like a pretty smart thing to do, you know, like going back to what I was saying earlier, like the whole like idea of like a go-to-market strategy, the things that we learned in like business school of like, you know, what's your sales plan? Like kind of what's the marketing plan? Like at this early of the stage, like it should just be about getting 10 clients, period. And like, that's the one thing I wanted to say during the startup summer, like final pitch. I would go to my advisors and be like, so what's the go-to-market plan? Like, how do I model this out in my pro forma? And my advisors would just be like, why are you trying to model out a plan? Just go out and do it. Like, go out,
be scrappy.
Be scrappy. Go door to door. Go pick up the phone. Like, go play around with the different like Apollo and LinkedIn Sales Nav and get like try 1 month subscriptions here and there. Can't keep canceling them. Like Pipedrive, Google Sheets, HubSpot to manage your CRM. However you do it, and it's been kind of the same mindset for marketing as it has been sales. But I will, to answer your question, like I think it will be, I probably will have a better answer kind of in the future, but doing ads for Martha would be awesome. I would love to create content, like informational stuff on like what our funnel is, like tell brands organically how to create a winning campaign and like really teach people like from our Instagram and like running ads on that. Like we've had a ton of different ideas about different series that we could kind of post. And then I want to create more visual assets on like actually we need to work on branding. Like our branding kind of sucks right now. And like when I say personalizing Martha, like I really mean like bringing this AI ad assistant to life. Like I really mean that. And like, you know, utilizing that to do informational posts and running ads on that too. So to answer your question, like A, content, and then B, using our own tool to like post as well is something that I foresee in the future.
Okay. I love the vision.
Dude, did we take up way too much time? We're right on 7 on the dot.
All right.
We're right on time.
Yep.
I just want to say, I think it's so cool that you're doing this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And like the consistency and everything since March, since like episode 1 with Carter, like clearly it's there. And like, I just implore you, like, let me know if you need me to come back on board, and I would love to do this again. Seriously.
Let's do it.
Like,
We'll do episode 2 with you when you're gearing up to sell Martha for $370 million.
Oh, that may be episode 2000, if that. But yeah, man, I appreciate it. And
of course. So we'll wrap up with this tradition on the podcast. We do this thing where the last guest asks the next guest a question.
Mm-hmm.
So Jack Wilbur.
Yep.
Okay. He's got a fairly simple question for you.
Okay.
Simple question, probably a difficult answer though.
Okay.
What is the most difficult part of starting a business and bringing it to life?
Okay. I actually have maybe a decent answer depending on what you think. I think you could be so clouded by all the things that you have to do. Like what I've learned, what I'm super grateful for is like are my teammates, frankly, having Jack and having Charlie like keep me like in the moment. Because as a CEO, like you're always thinking about like where you're gonna be, like what are your goals, what are your long-term goals, like how am I gonna sail this ship and lead this team to like the promised land, right? You've stopped thinking about sometimes like what's on the ship and like how to manage that. So what I learned this summer, which like, you know, I've been grateful to like have like the spine sweat like experience, like, you know, under my belt too, and like learning how to make a pro forma and learning how to go out and get customer validation and building somewhat of an MVP and like pitching, right? And then you get attached to like raising money, right? So I would say the biggest challenge is literally like finding a day-to-day plan, finding a weekly plan, and figuring out like what matters today. I think that's super underrated. Like, how are we going to go out and attack the week? Like, how are we going to go out and hit our quota? And I think something that Eli Serrano said that was like super valuable is like, when you don't know what to do, just focus on product and sales. And this applies to SaaS. And making a plan for that can be like fairly difficult, but I think one of the best ways to do it is just like figuring out what matters most, because in the moment will like be the thing that like getting through those moments will be the thing that's slowly like pushing you forward, if that makes sense. Yeah. Well, you still need to look in the long term. Like it is kind of like the people underestimate like what's happening now and making sure like you really check those boxes and you make a plan to do that. And that is very difficult, especially with you when you have co-founders and you're butting heads about like, what should you focus on? Yeah. So biggest thing I learned this summer. Great question.
Sweet. All right. And last question. What would you like to ask our next guest, AC?
AC, Andrew Capper, pitch deck. I could ask that kid so many things. Andrew Crapper, which is actually his name. You should come in with that when he comes on. Okay. AC, what motivates you, brother? What keeps you going? Why this crazy path? Why do you take these calculated risks? What does that stem from in your body? That's so many questions, but let's have fun with it.
Yeah.
Okay? All right.
Sweet.
Jasper.
Thanks for coming on.
Adios.